So in Acts chapter 19, Paul was correcting the Ephesians about idol worship. And it's admitted that the Ephesians were worshippers of Diana. Diana has the biblical usage of Artemis. Other translations actually use the name Artemis. So this has been around since biblical days, and this is all pagan worship. I'm really not feeling sorry for people that are falling for this still. Do you believe in the Bible or not? All scripture is given by inspiration of God and is profitable for doctrine, for reproof, for correction, for instruction in righteousness. The entire second day of creation is the firmament. That's what they're hiding from us. They're hiding God's handiwork. They're hiding his location. They're hiding the firmament. That's something that we've never made past. And we're not making past or out of the firmament. We're not getting out alive.
This is a photo of the Earth taken from the Artemis II, exactly 12 hours after the first photo of the Earth was taken. Do you notice anything? It's literally the exact same photo, the exact same cloud patterns, and Africa is in the exact same position. I thought the Earth was rotating at 1,000 miles per hour. Not only that, it's orbiting the sun at 66,000 miles per hour. All of that movement through outer space, and the Artemis II managed to take a picture of the Earth in the exact same position 12 hours later at nighttime with the exact same cloud patterns. And this is the Artemis II halfway to the moon. Yeah, propelling through the void of outer space, which is impossible. And they were halfway. Look at the size of the moon when you're on Earth. Like, just go outside and look right now. Do you see the size comparison? How are they halfway to the moon, but it's way, way, way smaller than it would be if you're on Earth, when you're further away from the moon when you're on Earth? And look at this video. The Artemis II launching, it literally looks like the Artemis II crew is ziplining out of the rocket. Look, you see that? Have you noticed how they didn't show anyone in the crew cab once it was actually launched? That's because they ziplined out of the rocket. That is a giant helium balloon that is shooting way up into the air and then falling into the Atlantic Ocean.
They really had to say this right before liftoff today, Artemis 2. Coming up at T-minus 33 seconds, control shifts from the...
Just fake it.
And what does bro mean we didn't go to the moon? Why is he saying we didn't go to the moon?
This is the first time we're going to send humans to the moon, and we're going to have humans in low Earth orbit. This is the first time we're going to send humans to the moon. This is the first time we're... That is awesome. Just fake it.
And I was watching it on the live stream during the takeoff. This little black bit right here, let's watch this.
Ignition and liftoff.
Boom, the little black spot right there. And then it jumps right back, jumps right... I was watching it live, guys. The black space that was on there was like 10 seconds, 15 seconds. I was watching it, right, on the live stream.
Just fake it.
Why did, right when it's supposed to take off and you go to the wide shot, they're going to the back side of the moon. I don't know what for. We're spending... Why are we going back to the moon? Why? Why are we going back to the moon? For what?
Just fake it.
Come on, get out of here.
The crew of the Artemis II has captured some incredible views of Earth.
They use the very same clouds in both of these images. It's supposed to be Africa by day and night with exactly the same angle. So about 12 hours later, and the clouds haven't moved. Because these aren't actual photographs, they are computer-generated images, just like all the images of the globe. So either NBC made a mistake in their selection of the graphic artist, or it's entirely intentional, designed to test us, as it's clearly stated on this NASA reel. And why are they showing us Earth little by little? Why don't they film everything? Think about it for a couple of seconds. A skydiver comes back with hundreds of photos. GoPro mounted on the helmet, 360 camera in hand, 8K video, 120 frames per second. But when it comes to Artemis, we're back in the 70s with blurry, jerky footage, 4 frames per second. As if NASA didn't have the budget for a $400 GoPro, they lost the technology and never found it again.
Problem is we don't have the technology to do that anymore.
And when they do a live broadcast, it's a fixed shot with no window. The moment they believe the camera's no longer rolling, you'll see them waiting for instructions from someone someone backstage, and yes, don't ever forget that they are actually in a studio. To prevent showing you the actual view, they will then divert your attention by discussing issues concerning our toilet.
I heard that there was a little bit of an issue with the toilet.
Ou alors they're just playing around with the mascot, which they've named ZGI. Perhaps that's a very clear indication for CGI. So at this particular point, if you still genuinely believe in this whole show, then it's definitely high time to start some serious deprogramming work.
Let me show you the propaganda, because I searched on YouTube, Artemis 2 images. Ready? Watch this. It's all the same image. Ready? Same images. Ready? Same one. 21 hours ago. 7 hours ago. Oh, they're talking about the poop smell again there. First photos from Earth. Okay, that was 21 hours ago. 106 watching that one. Here we go. Same image. Same image. Same image. Same image. Where's all the amazing new pictures they took? It's all the same image. Where's any new photos? I haven't seen anything new. Oh, same image again. It's all nothing.
And hear from the astronauts as they left planet Earth behind.
So we all wanted to give a shout out to our families first, because we are pretty far from Earth and we have not gotten to say hi to them yet. You can see the entire globe from pole to pole. You can see Africa, Europe, and if you looked really close, you could see the northern lights. It was the most spectacular moment, and it paused all four of us in our tracks.
So these guys can see all this, but we can't. They don't have any technology to be able to show us what they're seeing. Zoom in on the Earth. I want to see Australia and everything upside down on the land down under. I want to see how you guys can zoom in and you can see the northern lights from there, but y'all can't show us. Weird.
Earlier than expected, they've also had to fix the toilet.
I'm proud to call myself the space plumber. I like to say that it is probably the most important piece of equipment on board. So we were all breathing a sigh of relief when it turned out to be just fine. It was just an issue, I think, of sitting for a long time and needing a little time to warm up, a priming issue. But we did originally think that there could have been potentially something fouling up the motor, and luckily...
So the astronauts had a real dramatic toilet experience. Wow, they really keep it interesting for us, huh? You know, out of all the things that can go wrong, you know, they really keep it so interesting and so unpredictable, right? Oh, there was a blockage. Did you take a dump in it? Like, it needed to warm up? Like, out of all the things that can go wrong on a spaceship, it's the toilet, bro. If you guys are eating the porridge like Goldilocks out here, I'm here to tell you it's time to see the truth, and I'm gonna give it to you. Whether you like it or not, if you come across my stuff, it's gonna trigger you right into the truth, and you're gonna see that these fools are on a stage, and you know the world's a stage. If you don't, then it's time to wake up. Much love to those who can actually see the truth. Hang on, it's only going from here. Much love.
Hi everyone, this is just a quick update. I saw this being shared. I thought it was fake. I just ignored it, but now I found out it's real. It's on the NASA website, and they said that they shared this photo of Earth from the Orion spacecraft's window. Well, instantly I could tell it was fake because I've been doing this a long time, and I made this graphic. I'm on Canva here. And as you can see, here's his image. I removed the background. And if you put it over an overlay of the continents on Earth, where are the other continents? There's no way all that could be on the other side. So I take this to scale. See, that's Africa. So I made it to scale. And I lined it up over Africa, and it's not perfect because it's on a ball graphic, and this is a flat graphic. But yeah, that's what it looks like. There's no way all of this and all of this is on the other side of this. So just a little something for you to ponder. Thanks, and have a great day.
So this is Buzz and Neil back in the 60s.
And what I've appreciated about Buzz later in his life, going around telling the truth about what actually happened.
Why has nobody been to the moon in such a long time?
That's not an 8-year-old's question. That's my question. I want to know, but I think I know. Because we didn't go there, and that's the way it happened. And if it didn't happen, it's nice to know why it didn't happen. Because there's no gravity. And I'm a diver, a scuba diver, and when you get down underneath the water, you're floating.
Zoe, what do you say?
Thank you.
You are very...
What was the scariest moment of the journey?
Scariest. It didn't happen. It could have been scary. Circuit breaker.
Well, let's talk about this, because this is fascinating. I remember very clearly, I think anybody who was alive at the time does, I remember my parents waking me up and we went down and we watched you guys land on the moon.
No,
which
you
was
didn't. No, you didn't.
What?
Because there wasn't any television. There wasn't anybody taking a picture. You watched animation. So you associated what you saw with...
I have very hazy memories.
Yeah, I know.
Well, no, but what we saw was we all were gathered around the old curved top radio and listened.
Talking about you know, how many feet we were going to the left and right, and then I said contact light, engine stop.
It was
and a few
exciting.
other things, and then Neil said, Houston, Tranquility Base, the Eagle has landed.
Okay, so I'm just analysing this new image of Earth that they supposedly took whilst travelling over 20,000 miles an hour through the vacuum of space. Now, what really confuses me is the aeroplanes, right? As you can see on this flight tracker right here, there is thousands upon thousands of aeroplanes flying, and you would think that you would be able to see them, even if they were just slight little dots. As you can see on the flight tracker, there is enough for it to be noticeable. You know, we've got all the thousands of aeroplanes and aircrafts flying through this sky, but then also you've got like 10 to 11,000 active satellites that are orbiting the planet, and then like 30,000 orbital objects that are being tracked around the Earth. Yet when they take a photo and show you, this is the Earth, guys, none of that seems to be available for our eyes to see. You know, don't get me started on the stars, which we never seem to ever see on the outside of the Earth. When they're in space, the stars seem to just disappear. Hey, let's just believe all of these cartoon images that aren't actually real photographs. They are just data collected images from ground level data collection, or at least that's what they tell us.
So I got another question that I need you guys to answer. So you see this right here? Supposedly, this is a picture that was taken on the Apollo 17 mission. And this here is supposedly a picture that was taken on the Artemis mission. But I need you to think really hard. Tell me, when does the sun cover the whole entire face of the Earth like this? And if this little shiny area down here is the sun on the other side, then I need you to explain this. Because this is supposedly a real picture. This is supposedly a real picture. These are supposedly real pictures. And then there's this. Both of these are supposedly real pictures. However, if you look, I need you to examine how small the United States is here, and yet how big the United States is there. Let's put this in perspective a little bit. If Africa is this big, all of this other stuff has to fit on the other side of the globe. And then there's this. Over the years, there have been different artists for every one of these images. And yet, look at the differences in the land masses, the colors, the schemes, etc. And then there's always this problem. You know, I want you to find some landmass in this picture here, or this one here. And while I have you here in this recent image that they have posted, I want you to look at how this one also, the craft itself curves with the curvature of the earth for some reason. And something nobody really wants to talk about is how in the world do you explain this? And then I'll close with this. I hope those spaceships sure are careful dodging all these satellites that are above us right now. And now I want to show you what an AI tool can do with space. So this is AI. This is AI. And then there's stuff like this. And then there's this. But I'm going to let you figure that out because I know my government and NASA would never, ever lie to me.
If NASA really went to the moon, how did they come back? There was no launching pad, no missiles, and no other equipment. Think about it. On Earth, we need massive fuel tanks, reinforced pads, countdown towers, and a whole team sweating behind screens. But on the moon, we're told a tiny metal cabin sitting on dusty ground with legs thinner than a street sign pole somehow fired itself upward with perfect precision. No blast crater, no scorch marks, no backup system, and the surface dust completely undisturbed in the photos. No launch tower, no external support, no robotic arms guiding it upward. Just a box on legs that magically breaks free from lunar gravity, reunites with a craft racing around the moon, and then glides everyone back home like a Sunday road trip. Now, imagine this same situation happening anywhere else, like someone claiming they drove a car out of a ditch without wheels, ramps, or even an engine. Would you believe it? The story sounds smooth until you zoom in, pause, and actually look. That's when the questions start stacking, and suddenly the official version feels more like a script than a memory. Once you start seeing details like this, you can't unsee them.